Hello, here I am again. It's David with another Dads in Recovery video. And just put together some notes this time. I'm not so good at this. I usually do this, just from the hip, and kind of make it up as I go along. But, I want you to know that if you're a dad in recovery, no matter how screwed up the relationships with your kids might be, that they want you to be around. And I think one of the greatest fears is that we're going to be rejected. And I just want you to know that's a, I understand. I get it. That's a common fear that we're going to be rejected, and that you know, and it's understandable. That our kids, right? Our kids have been through hell with us sometimes. We missed um, stuff. We missed, graduations. We missed birthdays. we didn't come to the school plays, and so yeah, they can be they're disappointed, and so if we're afraid of rejection. I understand that, because we have guilt over that, and shame over that, and that's in the system, and so this is not an easy job, right? This is we're going to have to face our fears around this, and fear has fear wants to keep us small. Fear does not want us to have success generally. Fear wants to separate us, and so I'm just sharing this with you, that's common to have that, to be, you know, um, full of guilt about the past, and be full of fear of rejection. So if you're a dad and you want to get back with your kids, and I also want to say that in the work that I've done now with dads, it doesn't seem to matter how old the kids are. They can be fully grown. They have kids of their own. They want us to come back, and they want us to face our fears, and they want us to win the battle with recovery, and they know. Many of them, again, younger or older, they know that we're struggling sometimes, and so if we've been estranged for a long time, if we've been away from them for years, um, it it doesn't matter. We've got to rebuild that, and it's our dad's role is irreplaceable. It really is, and damn, I'm working with dads often whose dads disappeared, you know, and we know what happened to them. They got caught in the fear, they or they got full of pride, or they got, and they so I'm working with dads who have children whose dads disappeared, or were around very little, and now they're facing those fears with their kids, and it's kind of intergenerational, but so it goes both ways. If you're a dad, and you're in recovery, and you're rebuilding a relationship with your kids, I also encourage you to rebuild a relationship with your dad, no matter what he did or didn't do, because it's intergenerational. And then our kids get to have their grandparents, when that happens. So that's a that's something to I didn't think I was going to bring up today, but it really is an important part of this whole thing. So I'm just want to bring the healing then that happens, and the healing doesn't just happen for our kids. They don't, I mean, yes, but it happens for us. In that healing expands into every relationship in our life when we rebuild relationships with our kids. It's a what happens in one area happens in all areas. As it is, it's the same everywhere as it is here. So reconnecting our kids is not just about them; it's about our healing as well. We benefit, and I want to suggest that we start it with small stuff. It's you know to call up our kid and say, I know I haven't seen you in 2 years, but we're going to go on a trip together, is not necessarily the way. Um, you know, start with small stuff. Phone calls, texts. Let them know that you're there and that you want to reconnect. And showing up at games. If they're playing sports, and you don't have to be the coach. You can just show up. And ego wants us to. It's like paying debts. We want to show up with the whole thing. And we learn in step 9 that we show up with what we can, with a part of the debt, and make an arrangement. And it's the same with our kids. So we're going to show up in smaller gestures to start with, and I suggest consistency. I really do. And even if it's a once a week call and you're out of town, I have a friend that lives out of town. I encourage him all the time to call his daughter, and be connected. We get delusional. We think, that we've done it when we haven't. So, set a time, put it in your phone, and have the alarm go off. Oh, I got to call my daughter, and just make it consistent. And love is a action word. It's a verb. It can be a noun, but it's a verb. And so we're consistent. And with our past mistakes, with our kids, acknowledge them. Say, I fucked up. I screwed up. And Dad's not well, and I've had a disease, and talk about alcoholism, and share the, how hard it's been for you sometimes. It's not about you, all of this, but just how hard it's been with you sometimes with the disease. And so it's okay to talk about it, and let them know that you've made mistakes, right? And don't push them. Just, don't expect it immediately they're going to jump in. Once burned, twice shy. And many times with our kids, it's more than one thing that we've missed, or one time that we didn't show up when we said we were going to show up, or one time when we forgot a birthday. There's been often many times. And so it takes time to rebuild that trust and respect and love. I mean, the love is always there, but it takes time for it to happen. And so I just, share that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint, and we're rebuilding. Okay, and lead by example. Remember that your recovery is, this is the battle for your life, and they know that. And if they don't know, it's okay to share it. Take them to meetings. I was at a meeting this morning. I often go to a meeting in my town, daily reflections, and there's always kids there. There's a little room on the side for kids to be hanging out, but there's kids there often, and that's just the way it is. It's alcoholism and addiction are family diseases, right? And recovery is a family function, and so it's great when kids are there. I love it when kids are there. Mom brings their kids, Dad brings their kids. So yeah, it's a good deal. So trust starts to be rebuilt, right? And so to dads that are, if you're watching this, know that you're not alone, and talk to other dads. We don't seem to talk about it a lot in the room, but talk to other dads, and you can talk to me. And I've got a course coming up in a few weeks, so you can be part of that. And you're not alone. And I want to shine the light on this as brightly as I can, for as many as I can, and to help men realize how important they are, that it can be done no matter how damaged the relationship has been, and that it's not only healing for our kids, but it's healing for us. It's a big deal. So, and I'm here to help. So if you want to share this with other folks, I'd like that. Make a comment, I'd like that. I know some of you are watching this on Facebook, but if you're watching it on YouTube, I'll post it there. Love it if you subscribe and make comments, and let's connect. I could use your response, a little play back and forth. These videos, it's not my first. I'm not I'm just kind of doing the best I can with these videos to get the message out, so I'm not some professional speaker, but this field of dads in recovery, boy, I put my time in here, and so I want to give this away. Love you guys, and that's just about it. Talk to you soon. Cheers.